Well, hello folks, it's Sean, Victorian Piper. I've not seen you for a while. Been pretty busy at work, and obviously we're still in the sort of the last tiny bit of lockdown. We're allowed out tomorrow, although in our new tiers, which obviously those of you in the UK you will be more than familiar with. But anyway, we're allowed out a bit more. And the good news for me is it looks like the museum's allowed to open again. So hopefully this weekend I'll be back there doing what I love doing. And if nothing else, I think we'll have a little wander around the town. It should all be decked out for Christmas. It always looks beautiful. So hopefully this weekend I'll have something of interest for you. Anyway, so in a break from the usual kind of videos I don't do many tobacco reviews. In fact, I haven't done one for months and months. But what I thought I would do, seeing as today is December the 1st, I thought I would do a little first impressions of Gawith Hoggarth's 2020 Seasonal Reserve. Now, I know there's been a few reviews of this up already from some of the UK presenters. Not sure if you've got this in the States this year. I know it was limited to 1,000 tins, I believe. So you may well end up with some. But obviously, as this is pretty much also coming up to my first year anniversary as a pipe smoker, there seems to be no end of seasonal Christmas type tobacco offerings. So if you don't get this one, there are obviously many, many more that Leicester, Redcoats Return, has been showcasing recently. And also I've seen a few other reviews from folks. Bremen Pipe Smoker did a huge rundown on the blends we can get in Europe anyway. So without further ado, this is a new unopened tin. Let's get it popped open. Now, I might need my glasses for this. And you know what? I can't even see my glasses, so that's not a good start, is it? There they are, tucked away. You'll have to forgive the sound as well if there's a bit of a droning in the background. I've got a little electric fan down there, because basically in this garage, despite the rest of the house surrounding it being centrally heated, it's colder than a witch's tit in here. So, let's get this in without stabbing myself. Oh, there we go. Let's get that cracked. Oh, my word. Now, if you like things Christmas, and you like Christmas cake, and you especially like marzipan, that is exactly what that smells like to me. Very, very strong marzipan smell. Now, it'll be an interesting one, this. I do have a few aromatics, and I do still smoke a few aromatics. But as I found, I very much prefer a stronger blend. So, the aromatics don't get much of a look in. But it's the right time of year. I bought this specifically to smoke throughout December. So we'll see how we get on. Right, let's get the cardboard out. There's already bits stuck to that. Start my glasses off again now. Hang on. Very, very marzipan-y. Slight cherry hint. Now I've taken the cardboard off. We'll attempt to show you that. Quite an attractive ribbon cut. I'm led to believe it's a mix of Burley, Virginias and Cavendish. It's reasonably moist, but we'll give it a go. But yeah, that does smell good if you like marzipan. So to try this in, I'm going to be smoking it in a Mia, as we all know, ideal for new blends. This lovely old Mere was sent to me by the one and only Tree. Gets smoked a lot, this does, Tree, so that was very generous of you, and I do use it a lot. So bear with me. Oh, it just smells really nice. Bear with me, I'll get loaded up, we'll get lit. I'll be back in a minute. Right, we're back, loaded up. Slightly longer pause, not that you'll know because obviously through editing. My wife's just taken my new company car out. I think I'll have had it a month tomorrow, so I'm still in that honeymoon period. She's only driven it twice, and both times I was with her, so I'm still a bit precious about it. So fingers crossed they'll come back in one piece. But anyway, one thing the fan is doing, if it's not annoying you lot, it is at least keeping me warm, and the airflow's helping this get lit quite nicely. Very almondy taste initially. Almonds and cherries, which are listed as toppings, to be fair. But the sort of cherry taste reminds me a lot of maraschino cocktail cherries, which I'll admit to never ever having in a drink, but eating jarfuls of the things. Well, when I was younger anyway. I really do like the taste of those things. So far, this is appealing. Now, I'm just going to have to redirect that fan because it is blowing the air straight up. It's right in front of me. It's actually blowing the smoke just straight up and out. I'm not really getting to smell it at all on the retro now. Bear with me. Right. So I've left it on, so no escape from the noise, sorry. But the air's blown away from me a bit. That's better. I must say this is pretty good. Now the topping isn't overpowering. It's definitely there, like I say, that almond, cherry, marzipan type mixed taste. But it's in no way overpowering. And it's not, I've had some aromatics. Again, I'm no expert here. And I certainly haven't got the refined palate of some of our fine presenters and reviewers. But it certainly doesn't seem as mild in the actual tobacco taste. There's a lot of aromatics. Because I've got accustomed now to those stronger blends, I find a lot of aromatics, they taste sweet, and you'll perhaps get a bit of that topping, whatever the topping may be. but the actual base tobacco, whether it's mainly Cavendish and probably, let's say, Virginia, does tend to be quite, well, really mild for me anyway in the background. Not a lot of taste there, I think, for a lot of the time. However, this, now whether it's the addition of the Burley, and that's assuming there is some Burley in it, I'll need to smoke a good few bowls to really get my head around it. Like I said, this is a first impression. As you can see, I'm having to relight again. It is straight out the tin, a little bit damp. Now I know that's how it's supposed to be. And this will obviously get going eventually, but you don't want to sit watching me for half an hour trying to keep it going. So we'll smoke a tiny bit more now. I've got to say, I think I'm in agreement with most of the other reviews I've seen for this, and say for a well, can't comment on seasonal, but for an aromatic, I'm really quite impressed. Obviously too early to tell, but I've got a sneaky feeling I may regret only buying one tin of this. But anyway, I'm going to film a few VRs now, so there'll be a few videos coming out. If this is the first one you've happened to see, will be the first one to upload. So they'll all look the same. I'll all be smoking the same thing, but I'll attach to the end of this video, when obviously I've got a real good portion through the bowl, and just give you a final assessment of that first impression, first bowl of the Gawith Hoggarth 2020 Seasonal Reserve. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're back. Done my VRs. Allowed the pipe to go out numerous times. You know what I'm like. I start talking, I forget about this. Well, I must say, I'm really quite impressed. Like I say, this is only the first bowl, and something I've never done, and I probably won't stick to it now despite what I say. Up to this point, I have never opened a tin and then smoked that tin exclusively to the end. It always ends up 2 or 3 bowls. I'll stick it in a jar, goes into my well, I was going to a couple of small drawers like this, but in the house. So I haven't got lots, but then I'll just generally pick whatever I fancy for how I feel from whatever jar. So I've never actually smoked a blend to properly appreciate it, if you like. So I'm figuring, seeing as this is the seasonal blend and we are here at the start of December, I'm going to do my very best to smoke pretty much nothing but this until the tin's empty, or we get to the end of the month. I don't smoke too much, 1, maybe 2 bowls a day at a push, but it's generally 1. I'm quite busy at work. Excuse me. I'm quite busy at work, so whereas I used to have 1 bowl during the day and then 1 maybe after work, it tends to just be of an evening now. So it may take me a while to get through this. But I must say, very favourable first impression. It's got a decent body to it. Being a Gawith blend, you know there's going to be quality tobaccos behind whatever the blend may be. This is no exception. Again, I'm no expert, but I do think there is some Burley in this. It's definitely got some body to it. I think just a base of Virginia and Cavendish, as with a lot of aromatics, like I say, they are very mild. There's no real punch to them. Now, this isn't a heavyweight blend by any means, but it's definitely got a bit of body to it, and that I like. As I've said earlier, I do lean more towards the stronger, bolder blends. The topping and I've had the tin open again while I've just been sat smoking. It is absolutely sublime. I think a couple of people refer to it as smelling and tasting like a Bakewell tart. Now again, those of you in the UK likely know what that is. Over in the US, you may not be so familiar. But basically, if you imagine that almond cherry flavour and smell in a small cake, or if you actually go to Bakewell in Derbyshire, where they come from, they do much bigger Bakewell puddings, but it's the same thing, that the almond cherry taste. I tend to agree. The more I've smoked it, the more I'll just sit back and kind of, you drift off into your thoughts. And I do think, yeah, Bakewell tart is what comes to mind. And despite how really quite strongly it smells in the tin, that doesn't translate to the smoke. It's very subtle, I find, but very, very pleasant. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's quite a delightful blend. There's an English statement for you. Very British. So all in all, yeah, I'm very impressed. If you can get hold of a tin, I know a few places in the UK have still got them in stock. Probably only got a couple. The local brick and mortars might have them if they do Gawith blends. Like I say, for you guys overseas, I'm not too sure what the availability is, but if you like a very, like I say, very, very nice aromatic, but with that bit of body to it, this might do you. Nicotine, I thought I'd mention that. As you'd expect, it's mild to medium, maybe mild to medium. There was a point where I was sort of puffing away on it again, lost in my thoughts, and I could start to feel it ever slightly. I'm quite sensitive to nicotine, so it's a bit of an odd one, despite preferring those stronger blends. They do tend to obviously give me a bit of a kick in, so I tend to have to smoke very slowly, small bowls. So yeah, mild to medium for me. Room note is chef's kiss. Very, very good. I did pop out of the garage, see what the dog was yelling at. He's at it again. I don't know if you can hear him or not. But coming back into the garage from going out into that outside fresh air, coming back in, very, very nice. In fact, if I've still got some left, and I expect I will, I shall probably take this with me Christmas Day. If plans allow, to go and visit my mother. And I think even my mother wouldn't be offended by this. So yes, I'll update later in the month, I think. I'll try and do my very best to stick to smoking the tin. There are going to be occasions where I just think, you know what, I want some, I don't know, witch dark flake or old dark fired or something, when I really want a good, satisfying, quite strong smoke. But otherwise, I'll do my best to stick to it. I'll let you know later on. It's probably not going to come, going to come to much, because at the end of the day, it's a seasonal blend. There's only 1,000 tins. It's not like on the back of my review, if I come back to you 2 weeks' time and say it's the best thing ever, you're going to want to rush out and get it, because you probably can't. But it'll help me anyway with actually getting to understand the elements and the nuances with different blends. Also, while I think about that, if you haven't seen it, go check out Jeffrey Alton Carter, Renaissance Piper, one of his recent videos. He's actually spent a lot of time putting together a tasting notes sheet, if you like, or when I say sheet, it's actually pages. It's very, very comprehensive. Jeffrey was kind enough to send that over to me. I've had a look through it, and I will perhaps try and utilise it for this actually, to get all of those nuances and flavours and tastes and all the other things around burn rate and nicotine and all the other things that he's got in his sheets. Make for an interesting experiment anyway, but it'll certainly help me get to know blends better. But anyway, if you've stuck with me this far, it's been quite long for a first impressions video. Before I sign off, just to say a happy birthday to my mother's other half, Chris. It's his 70th birthday today. Now, obviously, we're still in that last day of lockdown, so we've not been able to go over, but we should be able to make it over there soon. And he retired last week as well, finally. I say finally, obviously, by the age of 70, I think I'd love to have been long out of work. But he had a job he quite enjoyed, and it was a nice bit of extra cash in the pot, I think. So anyway, I hope you enjoy your retirement, Chris, and I hope you've had a really good birthday. Hopefully we'll see you soon. But anyway, I shall definitely see all of you soon. Hopefully, like I say, at the weekend, I'll be back at Bliss Hill. We'll have a little wander around, look at the Christmas decorations, and just see what's going on. Anyway, thank you to you all. Always appreciate you watching, and I'll see you soon.